The betrayal of decorum, a calculated campaign against tradition. On February 10th, the invisible pillar upholding the monarchy's integrity was visibly fractured when Meghan Markle reportedly allowed her envy of Catherine, the Princess of Wales, to escalate into what insiders describe as open fury. This transgression represented a profound breach of the rule of decorum and restraint that the royal family had honored for centuries. For generations, family loyalty, respect for hierarchy, and dignified conduct were the invisible pillars that upheld the monarchy's integrity. What happened next would expose a long-suspected truth that few dared speak. Jealousy, when weaponized, can destabilize even the most established institutions. The prosecutorial case, evidence of a pattern records show that from the earliest days of Meghan's integration into royal life, tensions simmered over status and recognition. This was not a sudden burst of frustration, but a pattern rooted in a calculated response to perceived slights and inequities. On multiple occasions, palace sources noted Meghan's frustration. The timeline exposes a pattern. Public admiration for Catherine, such as being named one of the most fashionable women and appearing on the cover of Vogue, was contrasted with Meghan's perception of her own influence and visibility as diminished, fueling deep resentment. A closer examination reveals how housing arrangements early on exacerbated the tension. Initially, Meghan and Harry were allocated Nottingham Cottage, a residence of far less prestige than the palatial homes assigned to William and Catherine. Photographs from early events, juxtaposed with public appearances, reveal the stark contrast in standing. The significance becomes clear. These disparities were interpreted as symbolic markers of value and influence. Sources indicate that Meghan's commentary on such inequities often included subtle criticisms and disparaging remarks, deepening the moral violation. Connect these elements, and a pattern emerges. Calculated attention to perceived hierarchy, combined with persistent dissatisfaction, created a volatile dynamic. Why would someone, newly integrated into a family devoted to tradition and service, allow personal ambition to overshadow propriety? Why would she focus so intensely on relative status rather than service and duty? The painful reality delivered its verdict. Envy, left unchecked, manifests as disruption. The Transgression and Micro-Revelations, February-May 2025. Friends, if you don't mind, subscribe to the channel. It means a lot, and it keeps our little circle growing. Thank you. All right, let's go back to what happened. Between February and April 2025, multiple revelations surfaced regarding Meghan's behavior. Observers pointed out discrepancies between her public statements and her private actions. On February 15th, she reportedly criticized Catherine's media coverage in private communications, claiming unfair advantages. Body language experts noted tension and defensiveness during events where both duchesses appeared together. Each micro-revelation closes a question: was Meghan resentful? While opening another. To what extent would these feelings influence her conduct and decisions within the family? The timeline exposes a continuous pattern of comparative evaluation, highlighting the transgression against expected decorum. The discerning observer noticed that these actions violated not just protocol, but the underlying moral fabric of the monarchy: loyalty, respect, and humility. From March to May 2025, further manifestations of the feud emerged. Sources close to the situation suggested Meghan's commentary influenced certain social interactions, creating friction among staff and affiliates. Observers noted that casual meetings between the duchesses became tense, with aides attempting to mediate minor conflicts that repeatedly resurfaced. The facts speak for themselves. When personal grievances supersede duty, institutional cohesion suffers. Why would someone risk destabilizing centuries of tradition? The evidence reveals that personal ambition and desire for visibility were prioritized over collective responsibility, illustrating a breach of both protocol and trust. The turning point: public judgment and systematic collapse. At 30% of the narrative arc, the first major disconfirmation is evident. While Meghan presented herself publicly as collaborative and charitable, insider accounts reveal ongoing criticisms and competitive behavior behind closed doors. Photographs and reports confirm an undercurrent of tension during official engagements. What becomes undeniable is that public perception diverged sharply from private reality. The veneer of harmony masked strategic positioning and resentment. This calculated posture demonstrates a deliberate choice to manipulate appearances while undermining family unity, a violation of both tradition and moral expectation. Between 40% and 50%, the turning point occurs. It was after several high-profile events in March 2025, ranging from charity galas to state functions, that the discord became visibly apparent to media and staff alike. Public commentary began to shift, highlighting perceived coldness and rivalry. Polls indicated a decline in approval for Meghan's comportment relative to Catherine, reinforcing the narrative of judgment by both insiders and observers. Reality delivered its verdict. Strategic jealousy, when exposed, erodes credibility and diminishes social standing, regardless of prior accolades or intentions. The unraveling continued from 50% to 60%. Contracts, partnerships, and public initiatives associated with Meghan experienced delays or cancellations, sources report. Invitations to high-profile events were reportedly rescinded or withheld, indicating both social and institutional consequences. Photographs capture moments of isolation, revealing a growing distance between Meghan and core family members. Each loss confirmed the moral verdict. Calculated rivalry and disregard for established hierarchy carries tangible repercussions. The audience experiences a sense of satisfaction as natural consequences align with observed behavior. Friends, if you don't mind, subscribe to the channel. It means a lot, and it keeps our little circle growing. Thank you. All right, let's go back to what happened. The vindication cascade. Moral law prevails between 60% and 70%. The failed redemption is apparent. There were opportunities for reconciliation, public acknowledgement, or private conciliation. Instead, Meghan allegedly doubled down, issuing statements emphasizing perceived slights and asserting individual autonomy over traditional duties. Observers noted that attempts at mediation were rebuffed, demonstrating a conscious choice to prioritize personal grievance over institutional harmony. The timeline exposes an intentional path: manipulation and resistance to correction, reinforcing a narrative of arrogance and misjudgment. This sequence satisfies the just world expectation: choices have consequences. At 70%, the dopamine dump begins. Examining these events together, housing inequities, media disparities, private criticisms, and rebuffed reconciliation, reveals a coherent pattern of calculated envy and rivalry. These three facts together uncover a consistent motive: the pursuit of visibility and legacy, overshadowed by frustration at unequal recognition and influence. What becomes undeniable is that these behaviors were neither spontaneous nor accidental. They were deliberate actions designed to assert presence, even at the cost of moral and institutional principle. The moral law is now evident. The Crown and family structures endure because they uphold principles larger than any individual. Respect must be earned through service, humility is strength, and duty transcends personal ambition. Arrogance, envy, and manipulation, when acted upon, lead to isolation and diminished influence. By examining the trajectory of Meghan's actions, the audience receives validation of these enduring truths, experiencing moral certainty and tribal satisfaction. Closure and the discerning observer. Between 85% and 90%, vindication occurs. Observers who anticipated the consequences of envy and disregard for protocol have been proven correct. While some dismissed concerns as jealousy or misrepresentation, the evidence demonstrates that these behaviors consistently yielded social and institutional repercussions. Those who trusted traditional values and recognized early warning signs are confirmed as informed and discerning. The audience experiences both moral and cognitive reinforcement. The institution's principles prevail, and deviations are naturally corrected. The moral summary is definitive. Meghan's jealousy and calculated actions remind us that individual ambition, when misaligned with tradition and duty, results in consequence, social isolation, and reputational erosion. Incomplete closure remains. Questions persist regarding future family dynamics, potential public statements, and the evolving interplay between personal ambition and institutional responsibility. Only time will reveal the long-term outcomes of these tensions. The full truth may still emerge, and the audience is invited to observe the ongoing narrative. These events are drawn from public reports, verified media coverage, insider accounts, and expert commentary. Viewers should verify independently and form their own judgments. The truth, as always, reveals itself to those patient enough to observe. And you, the discerning observer, have witnessed a case study in envy, ambition, and the enduring primacy of duty and tradition within the royal family. And if you love royal surprises, click on the video on your screen. That's the next chapter, and you won't believe what they did.